Oh, wait. I got effects and shit. What's up? What's up? What's up? I got my effects and shit. What's up, universe? Take a couple more puffs of this blunt. The Turnage Means Universal podcast, who I actually introduced it early this time. It's Turnage Means Universal podcast. All right. Okay. About to take this another podcast away. Got your head gonna sway. Oh, shit. Okay. I guess that's how I'm starting this podcast. You know how they be saying in rap music, don't get clapped up? Don't get clapped up? I think that means gonorrhea. Dude, all fucking lyrics, I feel like a lot of lyrics have double entendres. You know how they be sending fucking codes and shit and rap lyrics and shit like that, orders and shit like that. You know what swag means, right? You know what the word swag was originally used for, right? The word swag originally meant secretly we are yag. That's what it meant. That's what swag meant. So when they be like, all right, don't get clapped up, I be thinking about talking about gonorrhea and shit like that. We get you clapped up, meaning they'll send a girl to you to give you the fucking Easy-E, nigga. I be thinking that's what clapped up means. It could mean shot. Or like when Rihanna is singing, just gonna stand there and watch me burn. Yeah. The boyfriend gave her an STD and never told her. But that's okay because I like the way it hurts. So she likes burning. She likes having the clap. You know what I mean? Dave Chappelle said, don't be listening to celebrities. So, and he said that on stage. So should we not listen to him and listen to him? Because Kevin Hart got on stage and was like, I don't smoke weed. And I was like, and then he started talking shit. Well, he didn't start talking shit, but he just made it seem like weed was just like the dumbest thing. And I was like, he was like, yeah, my bank account manager trusts me with his money. I remember shit. I was like, okay. It sounded like sophisticated ignorance coming out of his mouth. I just cut that shit off. I was like, man, that nigga's a celebrity. You think that nigga's sober, fool? That's all I was thinking. Don't get clapped up. You get you clapped up. Please don't cancel this podcast for me going. Oh, okay. So I was watching the movie Friday, and remember when Ice Cube's character, Craig, opens the door to the cabinet, and Big Worm goes, you smoking my weed too? You smoking my weed too? And then what happened after that? Fucking, he got in trouble with Smokey. Ice Cube had a premonition. And remember when fucking Sugar, Uncle Elroy's woman was fucking French kissing Craig right in front of, no, she grabbed his ass right in front of Uncle Elroy. And then she French kissed him. That's automatic kick out right there. That's automatically, I'm gonna kick you the fuck out. Okay? I can't tolerate that type of disrespect to my face. So if she's doing that to my face, imagine what she's doing behind my back. Imagine what she's doing behind my back. But yeah, sophisticated ignorance. When celebrities get on TV or when people forget where they came from. Like, you ever, like, do some shit? Okay. Let's say you have an employee that, I don't know, y'all are both doing bad, but that employee gets caught, right? And then you be sitting back going, man, I never do no shit like that. Man, I never do no shit like that. Man, I never do no shit like that. But then a couple days later, you do the same thing. You be like, man, you forgot where you came from. I had this one employee. I knew him. He got fired for, like, smoking weed right outside, right? And this nigga got caught for smoking weed. And I remember I smelt it. And then I was like, hey, man. And then he came back and then he just left. But before he left, I said, hey, man, where you going, bro? He said, I'm finna go home, fool. And then I said, yeah, he went home. He said, nah, nigga, he got fired. I was like, he said he was smoking a cigarette. He said, nah, nigga, he was smoking weed. So I called that nigga. I said, hey, man, what happened? He said, what happened? I was like, oh, this is, whatever. But then there was, and then you got those people that be like, man, that fool's stupid, man, that fool's stupid. But they smoke weed too. You know what I'm saying? They do, what he does, just maybe, you get what I'm saying? Sophisticated ignorance. You forget where you come from. But he did that shit when the manager was there. Oh my goodness. Here's the story that happened to me recently. This was almost one of my Twilight Zone stories. So I was walking out of this store and this girl was waving at me and she was like, come here, come here, come here. She let down her window and she was like, hey, how are you? I was like, hello, how are you? She goes, I'm not doing too good. I said, I'm sorry to hear about that. And she goes, yeah, that man just finessed me out of X amount of dollars. It was like $100-something. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Shit happens. And she was like, can you help me out a little bit? And I was like, nah. She was like, you ain't got anything for me? I was like, nah, I ain't got any cash or anything like that. So she goes, she said, y'all got any jewelry in there? And I said, yeah, we got some jewelry. She goes, oh, y'all got some jewelry in there? And I said, yeah. She said, can you go get me some? And I was like, no, I can't. And I said, what do you mean go get you some? She was like, can you go get me some jewelry? I was like, nah, I can't give you any jewelry. I can't get you any jewelry. She was like, oh, man, I need a little help. And I said, she was like, well, can you help me? And I was like, nah. And then she said, you can't get me any jewelry from in there? And I said, yeah, I can get you some jewelry. You just go in there and pay for it. And I got you. And she was like, but I don't have enough. I was like, oh, well, then I'm sorry. She goes, you can't just go in there and give me a little bit of jewelry? And I went, what the fuck? And I just walked off. I just walked off. I said, I can't believe this. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, I don't even know. I was like, I thought the chick was high. I just chucked it up to the chick was just high as fuck at the moment, bro. That's all I chucked it up to. I was like, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck just happened? So, here's the thing. There's some unfunny ass motherfuckers in the comedy world where I do comedy. And they did this comedy show. And the chick that I did fucking a skit with, the one chick I did the skit with, because I told her to her face, I said, hey, I think you're funny. I think you're funnier than most of these people that have been doing it for X amount of years. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I'm not that funny. I just like to talk shit on the mic. You know what I'm saying? I just like to talk shit on the mic. So, and I accept that, but I say, you're funny. And, I kept telling her that. So now she's in the semifinals. And then some of these people that be pulling all this bullshit in the comedy clubs and be getting all this seniority and shit like that and who's funny and this, that, and the third, nowhere near in the finals, bro. Or even in the semifinals. I heard this one guy giving some bullshit compensating excuse. I was just like, dude, you're just not that funny. And here's the thing. I thought about that guy not too long ago, and I was like, dude, you know, he thought he had all this expertise, but he was still doing semi-basic shit. You know, okay, he was slightly subpar. Slightly above subpar. And what I mean by that, dude, like, not that far from like an open micer, nigga. Couldn't really tell the difference. So, and I was like, man, you ain't got the way. But when I stumbled upon one of his conversations when I was at the, place, he was telling what place he got. And I was like, yeah, I didn't think you were, I didn't really hear too much of his stand up, but I was just thinking, the way he was telling this guy and giving this guy advice, and he was like, this guy had an idea on how to do comedy, and he was blatantly sitting there saying to this guy, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. That's what he was saying. He said, I know, because this is... And it's like, when it comes to success, there's not one road to that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has different shoes, and everybody is affected differently. And everybody's timing is going to be slightly different from yours. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has... So when he was saying that, I was like, but dude, like I said, most of those motherfuckers suck. Okay? And they're charging for these jokes or getting special privileges, and it's like, okay, I get the hustle aspect of it, but I don't get like where you'd be like, all right, this person's a fucking seniority and shit. Why? Because they get paid a little bit more? The fuck with those bullshit jokes? With this bullshit jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how many times can you talk about fucking drugs, relationships, and fucking porn? Think about that. That's all those open micers talk about. Is fucking drugs, relationships, and porn. Just reiterated slightly differently. You get what I'm saying? Just reiterated slightly differently. How many comics, even myself included, can go a whole fucking session without talking about weed or sex? Yeah, in order to be a great comic, you gotta, one, study the greats. And two, you gotta have some type of social awareness. And even, I don't necessarily know political standpoint, but you gotta be in tune with the world. And you gotta be willing to joke about that shit and bomb at it. That's the thing. That's what makes great comedy. And you got to be able to tell that shit for hours and hours and hours, like Cat Williams said, to an empty-ass crowd. You get what I'm saying? These niggas, I knew this one prima donna motherfucker. He was like, man, I'm not going to go up unless these people to the crowd move up. It's like, dude, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And this nigga ain't selling out no shows. These comedians, motherfuckers, these niggas swear they're so funny. They've been doing it for X amount of years. How many followers do they have? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Okay, maybe it's not necessarily all about followers, but they think they're so great. Only 1,000 followers. Very few of those comedians have over, including myself. Very few of all the comedians that I see, very few of them have over 5,000 followers. Very few of them. Very few of them have over 3,000 followers. So that's like, okay, everybody that goes to the bars, which is good. But how long you been doing it? And what did you expect out of it? You get what I'm saying? What did you expect you were going to be at this point in time? Because I know where I'm going to be. I think. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speak doom on the career, but, it's probably going to be lots of open mics for me for a while. And that's okay. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But some of these niggas be thinking that they should have been doing specials and 45-minute comedy specials by now, and you're fucking wrong. And it kind of shed some light on me when it was talking about that Brendan Schwab character. Whenever he did his fucking stand-up, and he said that one joke, and they was like, yeah, this is basic open micer shit, and it just dawned on me. I was like, it's basic open micer shit. There's a couple good comedians, even if they don't have a lot of followers, I do respect their stand-up. And it's actually, pretty diverse. They got something to say, and it's like, all right, cool. They're way better than me, and that's all right, too. But I'm a content creator. I'm a content king. You know what I'm saying? I told this one dude, okay, so I did a set, and this other guy came up after me, and he started talking shit. And he was like, yeah, something, this is what you're really supposed to talk about instead of getting up here and talk about stupid shit. And everybody went. And I was like, oh. So when he got off stage and he was like, oh, no, man, I was just playing. I was like, man, I got to get tougher skin. It didn't offend me, but, you always build tougher skin. So I was like, I got tough skin. So I saw him later and he was like, hey, man, yeah, I was just playing, bro. I said, yeah, dude. I get it. And he said, oh, no, I thought it was going to be something. You thought you was going to try to whoop my ass. I was like, yeah, keep thinking that, though. But I didn't say that part. But I was like, definitely in my head, I was like, definitely keep thinking that. But I was like, yeah, no, dude, it's not a problem, man. I don't fucking care. So, but he's good at his comedy. He's good at his comedy, for real. He's really good. And he does content outside of comedy. That's what really truly makes a comic. When you step outside of comedy and create content, there's some content creators, there's content creators, and then there's basic comics. You know what I'm saying? Some of these comics, all they do is just do fucking stand up. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any other creative outlet other than telling jokes. And so the guy that talked about my set, and we spoke a couple days later, he created this video, and I finally said something. I said, lame. He never said anything, but good job, me. I said, lame. I just said it. I just said, that was lame. Feels good. Hurts. Donut. He never said anything. My content is way better than his. Fuck yeah, my videos are way better than his. My videos are better than his videos, but his stand-up, I feel, is more developed than mine right now. Facts. That's how I see it from my perspective. And I give credit when credit is due. But yeah, some of these motherfuckers are basic open micers, nigga. And that, you know what I'm saying? They don't have a creative outlet outside of that, except, telling jokes and putting on shows. Nigga, let me tell you something. You better get yourself some real jokes, bro. Better get yourself some real jokes. Anyway, with that being stated, I told my bit again one time, and this other dude came up and he started talking about the bit, but he wasn't downing the bit. He was just talking about the bit and kind of using my bit in his bit to a certain degree. So I saw this dude after that particular set, and he came up to me and said, "Hey man, you were really funny." And I was like, "Oh man, it didn't feel like it." He was like, yeah, the crowd maybe didn't get it or something like that, but I enjoyed your set. Like really and truly, okay, I'm not gonna say that, but he was like, I really enjoyed your set. And then he goes, yeah, that dude started stealing your jokes. And I said, you think so? He said, yeah, man. He was like, he just came up there and started biting your old bit and stealing your jokes and shit. And I said, dang, I didn't think of it like that. He said, yeah, man. As he was telling your jokes, he was like, telling your jokes. And I was like, yeah, you're not that guy. That's what the guy was telling me about the dude I said, dang, yeah, I guess so, huh? Interesting. And it's not the first time I've heard a few of my jokes on stage. And if I can prove it, believe me, I'm going to search my Twitter for some of the jokes that I've heard, that I've heard on stage. Sometimes we can think alike for sure, but I've heard like 3-4 jokes in all since my stand-up comedy, or since in general. Like there's one particular famous comedian who told a joke, and I said, man, I put that on my Facebook. Like, in 2010 or 2011. And this girl named... And I remember actually who actually liked the post, actually. That was the thing. I remember who actually liked the post. And that was like... This is 2022. So... And that was in 2011. So that was 11 years ago. Right? 2022. Yeah, nigga, that was 11 years ago. And I still remember... And then I heard it on stage. And I was like, man, let me find out that I have proof that I put that joke up first. Oh, but sometimes people just think alike, for sure. But man, when they be talking about, oh, this nigga funny, you be like, man, I've said that shit before. But anyway, let's get off of that. I still believe rappers have fake tattoos on their face. I don't think that. I think it's just an act. I think a whole rapper persona is just an act. From the tattoos, to the fucking money, to the women, to the cars, to the fucking lifestyle itself. You get what I'm saying? Just about everything about a rapper, you find out something about a rapper, just about everything be about him fake. From his chains to where he's from. You know what I'm saying? It's just promotion. So why would they not tattoo their face to get a little bit more attention? It's probably just fake ink. And then they go home and take all that shit off. I mean, granted, it might be a full-time job to keep that ink on you like that, maybe. But there's ink that washes off in like a year and shit like that, or a couple weeks. Fake tattoos. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna miss? What are you gonna notice? A couple motherfucking out of place lines? No, you're not gonna pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? So I still believe that. But no rapper's gonna let you get close enough to find out, though. So, like, you got all this money, unless you're really that unhappy with yourself, because like. I don't really care what you're going through. I'm not really interested in what these people go through. But I'm just saying, it's like, you got all this money, but you want to damage yourself like that? Hats off to you. You do what you want. But, like, my face is the money maker. You start limiting your pussy options with that. Because any girl who fucks you after that, she'll question her life choices. And then, imagine... You get with a girl and she got feelings for a dude with tattoos all over his face. She be like, oh, nah, man, you for the streets, bitch. I got a degree. You go with that motherfucker. And then she hits you up a couple days later. Talk about some what's up. Who is this? Who is this, motherfucker? Who is this? Who is this? I knew who it was. I knew who it was. But the thing is when I talk about kicking women out and shit like that, I don't want to do that. That's not the point of the story. You know what I'm saying? I don't really take pride in saying, hey, woman, you got to get out for not giving me pussy. It's like, I'm not finna cater more to your ego and let you get away with you playing me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if I hit you up for a week and then you finally come over and don't give me pussy, and then I go, oh, nah. And then you don't want to hang out with me anymore. And then one day I go, oh, she's getting fat. And she'll be like, you was trying to fuck me. And what you gonna say? You took her home after you done take her out and shit? You go, yeah, but then I made you walk the fuck home. So, at least I walked away with my dignity. Because I remember having this conversation with some peons. Now, I'm alpha beta. Okay, I was about to say I'm alpha beta male. I am the pinnacle of beta maleness. Why do I say beta maleness? Because all the alpha males have girlfriends. So if you don't have a girlfriend right now, or a wife, you're a beta male. Look at yourself. It hurts. But I am top of the beta males. Okay? You're looking at top level beta male material right now. You want to know why I'm top level beta male? Because of the moves that I make. I'm not going to talk about too much. I'm not going to brag because it's not necessary. But because of the moves I make, and because also, the moves I make. So here's how you know if you're a beta male. If you don't do anything physical, like sports, even for practice, like you don't like play, like, okay, if you don't play even tag football or flag football, okay, bowling is not is not alpha level. Bowling, you gotta be tough. If you don't play at least like flag football or basketball in your spare time for fun, you're a beta male. There you go, right there. You're a beta male. I already said if you don't have a girlfriend, you're a beta male right there. So here you go. If you don't have any hobbies, you're a beta male. If you don't have any hobbies, you're a beta male. If you have one hobby and no girlfriend, oh man, this list can go on and on. Okay, if you have no degree, technically you're kind of a beta male. So I'm a beta male right there. But if you have like none of that and you stay with your like parents with no car, okay, here's how you level up. All right, let's talk about how you're the lowest beta male. If you have, this is for people who are 18 and up, okay? This is not for, okay? And this is just bullshit. Don't fucking take me seriously. But this counts for people who are 18 and up, all right? So, if you're a beta male, if you have no car, no job, no source of income, and you live with somebody on their couch or with somebody, beta male. Now, if you have a job, and you have no hobbies, lowest of the beta males right there. Now, let's say you have a couple hobbies, you can move up. This is going to get complicated. Let's say you have hobbies and a job, you move up. Let's say you have hobbies, a job, and a car. You move up. Let's say you have hobbies, jobs. You have hobbies, jobs, a car, and you live on your own. You move up. Okay? So there you go. But if those hobbies include like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And poker, nigga, shut the fuck up. You moving down. You're not that high up on the beta male list. So here's how you know you're a higher level beta male. If you play sports that involve contact for a hobby, move up on the beta male list. And you have your own, moving up on the beta male list. If you have a girlfriend, you're moving up on the beta male list. You're high up on the beta male list. Okay? You're very high up on the beta male list. Here's how you start becoming alpha. When you start owning shit like houses, and you have a career, and a woman, and money. That's alpha level shit. There you go. So I'm at the upper echelon beta male. And that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, so I was talking to these peon fucks, right? No, you know what? Their mindset wasn't so peon, actually. Because I was like, so I was into kicking women out when I was like 22, right? I think that's when I first kicked my first chick out, right? I was like 22. She dumped me in my own dorm, bro. What the fuck? I was like, there's no way. Here's where I did a beta male move, though. I ended up I bought Chipotle for me and her. And then she was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I don't know. I just can't do this. And to be honest with you, I should have cut it off when I tried to work out with her. And then she motherfucking was like, oh, we can work out. And then she ditched me to go work out with another motherfucker. And I was like, oh, okay. I should have just, and she kept asking, was like, I'm a player and shit like that. I should have been like, yup, fuck yeah, I am. If you don't want to be with me, I'm going to go get with somebody else. What's so special? You say that shit. Hell yeah, bro. You might as fucking well, if you don't, and it doesn't work out 3 days later, why didn't you say it? You know what I'm saying? So if she asks if you're a player, you'd be like, yup. Because if you don't love me, some other woman will. I'm awesome as fuck. And back it up. Ladies, you too. But here's the thing. You ladies think you the shit, and you not. You know what I'm saying? You need basic skills. Everybody does. You need to learn how to cook, clean, wipe your own ass, and motherfucking take a shower. Pay your own bills. And then, that's how, that's what society expects. So you're a basic ass nigga. But when you start getting hobbies and shit like that, then you become an interesting motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? It's the hobbies that make you interesting. I keep reiterating this. It's the hobbies that make you interesting. And I'm not talking about going to concerts, spending your money at concerts. Yeah, that's fucking fun. But you're going broke. You're putting money in other people's pocket so you can take pictures and show other people that you had fun. Yeah, you hear that? That's silence. Does that shit make sense? How about you sneak into the fucking concert, then take some videos of it, and then post it on Instagram? Or maybe not, and talk about it and show your friends so you don't get barred. But what I'm saying is, you putting money into other people's pocket is not fun. Especially when you barely got it. I'm gonna spend $50 at this concert so I can go have fun. And these people are gonna get rich off me. Who's really having fun? The people on stage or you? The people performing or you? You're an average ass citizen. Okay, you're a working class citizen who's pretty average. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have one fucking hobby. You know what I'm saying? Get real with yourself. You play fucking chess all the time? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You got one hobby, but you ain't got nothing else going? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, I was talking to these dudes, and I was like, you kick her out after... here's the thing. If you take a woman out, expect to have fun with her. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell her that you like her right then and there. You know what I'm saying? You take her out. The second time, you go, I don't fucking know. I don't have the advice. There we go. So don't listen to me. So let's skip that. But if you're trying to get some ass, be upfront about that shit. I'm taking you out. I think you're pretty. I want to fuck. But don't let it go on too long and you keep feeding this bitch. And then you go, hey, I like you. And she goes, That's when you make her walk home, though. And she goes, You be like, all right, well, can I get some ass? And then you get in the car. You're like, all right, well, I'm not going to take you home until you either give me some ass or you can walk home. I'm giving you an option. Or you can do what I do and be like, hey, will you go in there and buy me, like, some dollar candy? And she'll be like, yeah, she'll do it, and you just drive off. I hope that girl got home safe. But I'm not proud of that, you know. I want the story. It was like, yeah, she came over, we were kicking it, and then we fucked. You know what I'm saying? I honestly want every time I tell a story, I want to be like, yeah, and then I made money or I got laid. Dead ass serious. That's the goal for every one of my fucking stories at the end of it. And then I made some money after that. And then I got laid. I be telling stories sometimes. I told this one story of how I was a nuisance on a Tuesday. I was telling this story, and at the end of it, I just wanted to be like, yeah, and then I got laid. But I fucking didn't. She was pretty as fuck. You know? I want every part of my story to be like, yeah. And then I got laid. Yeah. And I found $100. Yeah. Then my stocks went up. $100. Yeah. Then I made $500 the next day. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I want... Because I do this interesting shit, but I don't get laid enough. I think that's a different impression. I'm involuntary, so... But it's alright. Because I have a lot of blessings, and getting laid is not always the blessing. But it is also fun, though. I'm not even gonna lie. She was pretty. And I got laid. I'm tired of getting laid once every fucking 3, 4, 5, man, be droughts. And then when you do get some pussy, you like, you be trying to save her by fucking her for a long ass time. She may not be back. You want to do it again? She'd be like, you want to do it again? I thought this ain't the movie, shawty. I don't bust one nut and then, retire. I ask you if you want to fuck her. As long as she's letting me fuck, I'm going to keep fucking. That's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Drought, baby. Drought. I had this one mom come over and I used like 5 condoms. Yeah. It started off with like, I had asked her, I was like, can I get a hand job? And I said that through text, and she was like, we'll see. And then she comes over, and we're sitting for a while, and I hit her. I usually be like, are you comfortable? And if I see your titties, I'll be like, I like your titties. Can I see them? You know what I'm saying? I don't just, I asked that, and then they usually say yes, they usually say no. Or they come back and then they show me. But this particular time, she was like, I was like, are you comfortable? And she said, yeah. I said, you want to see my dick? And she was like, no, maybe next time. No, I said, you want to give me a hand job? She said, no, maybe next time. And I said, well, at least you want to see it? She was like, no. I said, well, I had to ask. Because if I don't see you again, then I'm going to regret not asking. And then she sat there for like we sat there for like a whole 2 minutes inside. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then I'm going to see. And then she goes, well, if you want to show me, then you can show me. And I was like, what? Yep. He's ass. Told this one girl, she came over and I was like, hey. Like, she came over, she walked up the steps. She had a big old booty. I was like, so I was like, I want her to walk up the stairs so I can see it. And then she starts walking up the steps and we start talking. And I sit next to her. And then I go, all right. So I said, hey, you got a really nice booty. And she goes, she just made a face, like almost it was like she didn't expect it. And then I forgot what she said. I think she said, thank you. And I said, yeah, that's why I let you walk up the stairs first so I could see it. And then I forgot what she said. But then she goes, she moves. And I said, are you about to twerk? And she goes, no, not that. And then she goes, but you can grab it if you want. And she grabs my hand. And she places it on her booty cheeks. I was like, oh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think this podcast was going to be that long. I stretched that shit. All right, you beta males. The upper echelon of beta males is, for right now, I assume will be alpha. King of the beta males. As spoken. Renegade I am. I'm always going ham. Got the universe quaking. Yeah, what? Shaking. It's me. One day you'll see me before I die. I will be GREATE. Oh, whatever. We signing out.